Welcome back. In this session, we are going to deploy our blog application on cloud server Pythonanywhere. So Pythonanywhere, just to give a brief, is one of the amazing cloud platform started by one of the amazing set of folks, and they are awesome. To be honest, even when we had started our journey of Python, this is the first platform where we had successfully deployed our code. Apart from Pythonanywhere, it was very difficult on other platform. There are so many other platform out there in market, but this is the first. That is the reason we believe we should promote, we should echo the voice of simplicity of Pythonanywhere. And if you find it useful, feel free to subscribe their subscription. They have free accounts which you can use it for one application, and if you would like to use it the paid accounts, you can just pay $5 a month, and your website will be, your application would be up and running, and they ensure 100% uptime. So what is the difference between free and the paid subscription is, in free subscription you are not going to use the application on your custom domain, and your application will be on idle after 3-4 hours if it is not getting accessed, right? And whenever, if you are using the paid subscription, your application is going to run no matter what, if someone is not accessing or accessing your application. So it's very simple way to create an account on Pythonanywhere. First, you need to just start running Python code in a minute, and you need to create a beginner account, and you have to give your username, email ID, password. Again, you give the password and accept their terms and condition and register it, and they will be sending you an email on your email ID for the account activation. So ensure you logged into your existing email, you activating the accounts, and then whenever you will log in, then you will come to the dashboard, which we will cover it up now. The second thing that we need to do before deploying code on Pythonanywhere is we need to set up the GitHub. So setting up the GitHub process is very simple, very easy. In fact, I have covered it up in the tutorials also. So if you browse through tutorial.hellodjango.com/installation.html, we have the Git installation. So if you are using Linux, you can use this particular setup, steps, and you can create your GitHub account. You can generate the SSH key and add it to the GitHub account. It's very simple, and you can test your connections, and you configure your Git profile, and like git config, global username, user email. And if you are on Macintosh, the process is same as per the Linux. If you are on Windows, they have a exe file. If you go to this link, you can download the exe file and you can install it. You need to configure the environment variable also, and you can create the SSH key. There are little bit different way is there in Windows, but it's very straightforward, right? So now we are going to deploy our code on Pythonanywhere. So let me close this out. Again, this one also, let me close it out. And I have already my Pythonanywhere account, so we will use it here for the deployment. So the very first thing that what we are going to do is, we are going to go on github.com. So let me go to the GitHub account of mine, and here the very first thing that we need to do is, we need to create a new account, right? So click on new, and give the project name as a repository name. So we are going to say Django blog, and give a description of so let's say we are giving Django based blog application, and keep it private, because you know, you are not on paid subscription. If you are on a paid subscription of GitHub, so you can pay $7 a month and you can use the GitHub for paid as a private account. So now you create the repositories here, and moment you create the repository, you will get this screen, and this screen, this is very, very important. You will have HTTPS and SSH. If you are obviously you will be pushing your code onto your own account, right? So you must use the SSH option here. You should not use HTTPS, because otherwise you have to keep on giving the user ID and password whenever you are doing any modification or any update. So we are going to choose the SSH, because my SSH key is already configured over there. Then if you just come little bit down, here you have if you have existing repository, then you can push this. If you have the new repository, then you can use this. As you know, we have already existing code base, so we are going to use this particular section, right? So we are going to open the terminal and close the server, and within the project folder, what we are going to do, we are going to say git init, means initializing the git. So moment you initialize the git, you have you know, a URL already configured here. So let's copy this particular line and paste it on terminal, right? And now what we need to do is, if you open your IDE, I have added one wsgi.py file. So usually this particular file code we need for the deployment purpose on Pythonanywhere. So you know, this is already self-explanatory, and here this you need to configure as per your username as well as the project name. So this particular space, you have to give your Pythonanywhere username, and this is going to be the project name, Django project name. And in this particular section here, you have to again use the project name itself. Most of the beginners do mistake here, and that triggers their applications are not running on cloud. So I'm just using this, adding this into the Git repository so that you can refer it later on, and I will show you the URL also, and in bottom and description also you can see the repository URL. If you sometime unable to get it, you may refer it, right? So the very first thing that we are going to do is, we are going to add one more file here, that is going to be git ignore. So open your terminal and you just give touch.git ignore. This command is going to work in Mac and Linux itself. This touch command is not going to work in Windows. So in Windows you need to find a way around to create a file with .git ignore. Make sure you are not creating a text file, otherwise it is not going to work. So create .git ignore and open this git ignore, and here we are going to add certain thing which you should not disclose in public, because GitHub is the public repository. So you should not upload or push your code the database. So whatever the files you are going to list out here in this .git ignore, that is not going to push it on GitHub, right? So we are going to say db.sqlite3 and then some other thing also like .pyc, because this .pyc file comes when you do make migration and migrate, right? So you just .pyc and strict.python file also. So these files we are not going to upload on GitHub, and apart from that I'm going to add it for your reference, and that's it, right? So now if you want to see how many files and folders has been added, what you can do is open your terminal and you can say git status So if you do git status, you can see what are the files are is going to be added into GitHub. So all these files is going to be in on GitHub, right? So after that you say git add space dot, that means you are going to add all the files, and then git push origin master. So if you are going to give this git push origin master, okay, we missed to commit it actually. So after git add space dot, you need to commit the code. So git commit -m means message, and let's say message we are going to give initial commit. So these are the files has been added on GitHub, and you can see all the HTML files, template, WSGI and all, right? So now we can say git push origin master. So if you give this git push origin master, the code has started uploading on GitHub, and code is already pushed on GitHub. Now open your GitHub account in the browser, click on this Django blog, so you can see the code is there, right? Now here one more thing that I would recommend you, always you should do it, is what is this repository is all about is going to be. So there is a concept called readme file, which you can see it here, right? So don't add it from here. You should add it, the readme file, from your local machine, and then you should push it on the cloud server, I mean GitHub account. So how to do that is, what you do, open your terminal and say touch readme.md, and this has created a file readme.md. Open your IDE and open readme.md file, and just define a s2 tag, Django blog for blog application for hello Django tutorial, right? And save it, and then if you open your terminal and say git status, you will see a line readme.md in red. So let's check it out. So you say git status and you should see readme.md, right? So purposefully I have did it later on, because always whenever you should modify the code, you should know how to add the code once again in Git and how to push the code on GitHub. So we are going to do git add here. So now git has, I mean this readme.md has been added. If you now do git status, you should see in green, actually means this is the new file which is going to be pushed on GitHub. So now do git commit -m readme added. Always you should add the relevant, give the relevant message, so that your colleague, your contributors is going to understand that why you have made this commit, right? So let's commit it, then git push origin master. So now if you push the code and refresh your GitHub page, probably you should see the readme file. Great. So your readme file is coming over here. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to pull this code from GitHub to the Pythonanywhere. So to do that, open your Pythonanywhere console, and here you will see you see here, because earlier I have used it. If you haven't if you don't see this one, what you do is you click on this bash. So if you will click this, you will see the bash console here. Click on that, and it will open the terminal. This is the exactly same terminal what you are going to use in your Macintosh as well as in Linux. So all the command should work in the same way, right? So what we are going to do is, just if you just do ls and see what are the files and folders we do have here. So we have some existing files here. Now what I'm going to do, open your GitHub, and here you have something called clone or download. Click on that, and there is two options. One is clone with SSH and one is clone with HTTPS. Always whenever you are cloning the code from GitHub to Pythonanywhere, you should use HTTPS, because your free account of Pythonanywhere is not going to allow you to use the SSH. So you should always use HTTPS. So ensure this option is available here. What you do, just click this clipboard, and this URL has been copied. Open your Pythonanywhere shell and type git clone and paste it. So now what is going to happen, it is not create disk quota exceeded. Okay, so what that means is I have already some files and folders. So let me go to files and let me delete this file, and catch, let me delete this also. Okay, so but there is no files. So usually you have okay, so let me delete this. Click on this pip and let's see, there is no file. Okay, let's try again and see whether we can do that or not. So usually when you are creating the new account, you are not going to see this message, because I'm using this since long time for the tutorials. That is the reason I'm getting this error message. So give this. Now I'm able to clone it, right? So now what we are going to do is, if you do list the directory, you will see Django blog, which we have pushed on GitHub. So the next step is to create the virtual environment on Pythonanywhere. To do that, you give virtual env and give a name. So let's say venv. So if you give venv, okay, disk quota exceeded. Okay, so let me first clean up the code from my Pythonanywhere, and then hopefully we should see you once again to avoid all this error. Or let me check it out now itself if we can resolve this. So we have virtual env. Let's delete this virtual env, and okay, let's refresh it. Okay, so if I give once again, so seems like I'm able to make it the virtual environment. Once you make the virtual environment, what it is going to do is, it is going to create a folder in the name of venv, and where your all Python file is going to be installed and stored. So until unless you specifying the Python version, it is going to create with Python 2.7, and that's where we should use it. So in fact at Nescode and Hello Django we use Python 2.7 itself. So it is installing the virtual environment. Now it's been installed. If you list the directory, you have one folder called venv. Now activate the virtual environment. So you give source venv bin activate. So your virtual environment is activated now. And if you remember correctly, when we were creating the virtual environment in our local machine, we were giving mk virtual env, because in our local machine we had configured like that way. But here we are not going to use the mk virtual env, we are going to simply use virtual env and virtual env name. You can use this, change this name as per your convenience. So now what we are going to do, we are going to go inside the Django blog, and inside Django blog, if you see, we have requirements.txt. So let us install the all requirements of the blog application into our virtual environment. So before installing it, you need to ensure your virtual environment has been activated, and when it is activated you should see this in the bracket. So what we are going to do now, pip install -r and requirements.txt. So the moment you give pip install -r requirements.txt, so it is going to install all the requirements for your Django blog apps into the virtual environment. Depending on your internet connection as well as the disk space as well as several other factors, it is going to take a minute, half minute or 2 minutes. That is entirely depends on several factors. So let's wait and let it get installed. And it is installing now. So okay, so till that time we should cover up some other aspect which we haven't discussed now. Like if you remember correctly, in our .gitignore we haven't added the db we have added db.sqlite 3. That means to say we haven't pushed our database to the GitHub. That means to say our local blog post and the username is not going to work on the cloud. Why this is why this approach we have used is, let's say you are contributing, you are collaborating with your colleague on the same application, and he is working in some way where he is pushing the database, you are also pushing the database. So their chances are there your code will conflict, and there is going to be a huge problem. So database, you should keep it into your local machine itself. And anyway, SQLite, you can use it for the development purpose, and you should push only the code. And .pyc file also, you should not push it on GitHub. And when we will run the code at Pythonanywhere, we are going to create the super user, we are going to create the blog post once again so that it will be live. And we are going to also configure the virtual environment on Pythonanywhere. So hopefully this should be installed now. So let it install. Till that time, what we are going to do is, we are going to go to the dashboard and go to web and add new web app. Click on next, select manual configuration, choose Python 2.7, click next, and it is going to create a web app. So basically a web app is the URL, application URL which Pythonanywhere is going to create it for you. So this is going to be the URL nestpython.pythonanywhere.com. So in your case, let's say you are using some hello Django name, so it is going to be hellojango.pythonanywhere.com. If you are choosing your own name, it is going to be your name.pythonanywhere. So it depends on what username is available with Pythonanywhere, that is going to be there. This green button, big button, is basically whenever you are doing any modification in the code, you should always reload this button. So ensure whenever you are pushing the new code on Pythonanywhere, you are reloading this, and see here the site will be disabled on Saturday 11th March 2017 and run until 3 months from today. So if you are on paid subscription, you are not going to have this kind of message. So consider paying user if you like this platform. And here you have the code. Basically this code is if you remember, we have pushed the wsgi.py, so that we are going to use it here. So if you click on this particular URL, you will see the standard wsgi file on your Pythonanywhere account. What you are going to do, you should all go and just delete everything, and the wsgi file which I have added, let's open that and copy this one and paste it here, right? And here, since I'm going to use for my account, so I'm going to say nespython, and here the project name is going to be Django blog, and here also it is going to be Django blog, and you save this one, and again you come back to the dashboard and go to web, and now here there is a section of virtual env. So if you click on this virtual env path, so you have to define the virtual environment which you have created on Pythonanywhere. So to do that, what you have to do is you have to define the relative path. So we are going to say home nespython. So home is, you have to always use it. Nespython is going to be your username, and venv. This venv is basically the name of the virtual environment which you have choose while creating the virtual environment on console, and you click on this. So if everything is configured, if you are given the correct path, there should not be an error, otherwise you will see some red message over here. Some other options which I am going to show it to you is the static files. If you want to define the static files, you can define the static files folder here. If let's say your page is going to be a password protected, so you can enable or disable this. So only the user with user ID and password is going to see the web page. So that option is also there. In case if you are going to delete this particular web app, you can use this danger button. So that is the how you should configure your web app. Now if you go to console, and let's see whether all the requirements has been installed or not. So whenever you are just going back again on console, you should open the same console which is already opened. So click on that, and so basically the Django has been installed. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to run the make migration and migrate followed with the super user. So what we are going to do inside the activated virtual environment, if your virtual environment is not activated, this command won't work. So let's give python manage.py migrate, now create super user, let me choose Nest Python itself. Email ID, let's say info@hellojango.com. This is the real email ID. If you have any queries pertains to our Django training, you feel free to shoot out the mail on info@hellojango.com. And password, I'm not going to say this time, otherwise all of you is going to hack my application, right? So now I have created the super user also, and if I go on dashboard and if I click on wave, and you should click on this green button, and probably within a minute this should be refreshed. And if you click on this URL, you should see your application. There is something invalid, HTTPS host header, you may need to add allowed host. Okay, that mean to say is, if you go the settings file, here allowed host we should choose a strict, and debug we should make it false because we are deploying on production, right? And hopefully everything should work well now. Okay, now push the code once again. If you do git status, so this is the code we have modified. Now git add, git commit -m, settings update, git push origin master. So the code is already pushed on GitHub. Now what we are going to do, we are going to pull that code from the GitHub. So open your console and open your bash terminal, and within the project folder you should do git pull. So the new code has been pulled out. Now if you go on dashboard and wave and reload this application, and if you refresh this page, yes, so this is working now. What we are going to do, we are going to log into the admin panel, and I'm using my ID and password. You should use your own ID and password. So this is where I have all my files and folder. Now let's add some post here. So click on post and click add post. Let's say author is going to be Nest Python. I'm going to say hello Django, and in text let me copy this dummy content and paste it into this, and today now, and save it. Let me add another post, and this time I'm going to say hello Python anywhere, paste it the same content. This broken image is coming because of the cache taken by the browser, and this screen you won't have because this is 1.8 version Django screen. You will see exactly the screen something like this. So once we will refresh this browser, it is going to work. So let me save it first, then we'll refresh it. So if you do Control plus F5, if you are in Chrome, hopefully it should refresh the page, and it's not getting refreshed, so it will be refreshed. Go to about once again and add the content just immediately, about us, and add the same content and save it. So we have added 2 blog posts and about us content also. Let's copy this URL and open it in another tab and see everything is working or fine. Yes, it's working. Now even if you click on this, and even your this functional editing the blog post functionality is also working. Here instead of new blog post, I believe we should make it only blog. So to make all these changes, what I would suggest is go to blog, post detail, or where it is, I believe post edit. Yes, so it should be only blog. And again you can git add, git commit, blog edit page update, git push origin master, and we are going to pull the code once again in our Pythonanywhere console. So to do that, open your bash console and so it's taking some time based on the process it is running. So now if you do git pull, so the new code has been pulled out. Now refresh the web app once again by going on web, and if you refresh this page, hopefully this new should not come now. So refresh this and click on this pencil. So now new is not coming, right? Now even you go to contact is also working, about is also working. Click on this logo, that is also working. If you click on this plus sign, you can write even a new blog. So let's check it out by writing a new blog. So hello, this time I'm going to say hello Nescode, and let's paste it out, this one instead of this. Let's paste it out the same content, and right. So the new blog post, in fact we can write it from the front if you go on home page. So even you have the new blog post which we have written from, posted from the front is displaying here. So this is full-fledged applications, blog applications on Django, and you can start using even this code base to make it look much more better. Even you can use it for your blogging app, and there is unlimited possibilities is there using Python and Django. So feel free to scale this up. The code is available on this URL. If you browse through my account, github.com/Sunil Srikumar/Django blog. So this repository is going to be there forever. So in case if you have missed out something, in case your code is not running, even you can clone it and you can download it from here. You can even click on the code and you can refer the code also. Hopefully you should be able to crack the Django and use the Django and make your career in Python. I wish you best of luck, and thank you so much for watching this Hello Django screencast series. See you once again in the new tutorial. Thank you so much.